Now, do you see what happens when we get flued out? It's not always what you thought it was gonna be, and you are putting your whole life in danger. Stop doing that shit. Guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tyra here with another struggle review, here to discuss rap shit, episode 5, Sun for the Weekend. Now, before I get into all things lowered expectations, I need you guys to drop down and subscribe to my channel and like this video. I'm going to give you guys a moment to do that, and then we're going to come back and discuss. We gonna have to stop doing this. This is not a safe situation. Forget being flued out. How about your ass get chopped up? Don't let a cash app get your whole feelings hurt. Happens all the time. Oh, you thought you was getting flued out just so I could see your face. Oh, aren't you adorable?
Go back.
You guys have hopefully subscribed to see more of me. Let's get into this episode. Now, we open the episode right away with Shauna's friend Jill just being whack as fuck. Like, not only did I come to you first with the material, but you were not trying to hear me out at all. You didn't want to hear anything I had to say. You didn't want to listen to my music. But when another person working for Spotify, now that my single has got a little buzz, brings me up as potential to executives, oh, I know her. Oh, I'm on that. No, you're not. You were not. Like, that was so trash of her to try to jump on that opportunity now that they are finally getting some traction off of Duke, mind you, getting their single played in the club. But I thought it said a whole lot about the people that Shauna was choosing to surround herself with at some point, and considering these people bestie. Oh, that's my friend. I knew she wasn't her friend when she hung up and she decided to continue that conversation about, oh Lord, what is Shauna doing with her life, with herself? Girl, get out my face. Now, speaking of get out of my face, we also opened with me already being upset with Shauna and how she is treating Mia in this episode. Now, mind you, she has been trying to get to New York for a minute, though she has money for everything else, all that good equipment. She can't seem to make it down to New York to visit and sex up her boyfriend. But Mia, getting flued out, by the mysterious white man, decides to take her along so she can see her man first class. We in first class. We popping bottles. We having a good time. Let's put it on the story. But I don't want my boyfriend to see me coming here with you, so I'm going to put my story on private so he can't see it. He's blocked from the stories. Like, really? Don't be embarrassed of me now. I'm good enough to get you here financially, with my connect. We're going to get into that later. But I'm not good enough to be presented to your boyfriend who already has a problem with me because I'm considered a bad influence. What are you doing with your career, your rhymes, your life? She is not it. Previous to Mia being bussed down to her socks later in the episode, Shauna had no intentions of spending any time with Mia or presenting her to her stuck-up ass boyfriend Cliff. She was supposed to do her thing with her guy that she came there to see, and she was going to spend time with her man, and they were going to return back. But she had no intention of the two meeting or even having to explain to him or Mia about her maybe potentially moving to New York or maybe potentially having to stay in Miami to continue this rap career with Mia. She is somewhere stuck in the middle. But for right now, I'm going to keep it neutral. You don't need to know nothing about Mia. This shit is on private. I'm watching you, Shauna. I'm watching you. Attention! This is how bad bitches leave London to go to prom. You bitches can't even spell prom. Like, Mia was feeling herself this episode, having a good fucking time. This is how a bad bitch lands and goes to Queens. You bitches can't even spell Queens. Flipping all of her $5,000 ass bundles. Like, she was living for it. And I was living for what this episode had to say about flued out ass culture. This was probably the first time that I didn't mind the aspects of so much of the social media, the POV shots, the Instagram, the hearts, the followers, the subs in the show, because it was so relevant when we get into what it means to get flued out. I even think it's more of a viral thing at this moment of women getting flued out and dudes having different expectations and their ass getting flued right back home and just downright disrespected because they don't want to have sex with someone. I love that they brought up the topic. Mia is all engulfed in luxury. It's not just about getting flued out and who she's going to see. That has nothing to do with anything. Look at all this stuff. Look at this view. Look at this wine, these fruits, these berries, this massage. You hoes could never. Look at me. It's all about, trying to impress the next person who's clicking on your video. Not even acknowledging the fact that you have flown out to meet a complete stranger in a place where you've never been, where you don't know anybody. With how this episode ended, just think if she had flew out by herself and Shauna wasn't there. Case in point, she flew out there and just low-key did not have a dime to her name. Like, women are putting their lives, their bodies, certain things at stake just at the aspect of getting flued out and looking and appearing and being treated a certain type of way, not acknowledging the fact, clearly Mia didn't hear that nobody is low-key flying you out of the kindness of their heart. So you can look at the sites. They are flying you out with the aspects to have sex with you. Mia is so enamored of all of this luxury, all of this impressiveness, that she is not even acknowledging the fact that the man who actually flew you out, this isn't some random guy who DM'd you, some man who, saw your pictures, said, oh, you're really pretty, let's talk. This is a man who was already paying for your services on your OnlyFans and your ass naked. High key, if I just offer her a little luxury, a little money, some experience, wine and dine her, some dinner, there is no reason why I should not be able to do whatever I want to do with her. And we have seen this happen repeatedly. Now, Mia had no problem, playing with herself, teasing him a little bit in that car ride, but when he made a move to touch her himself and, go a little bit beyond the thigh, she moved that hand. When he tried to invite himself upstairs, oh, I'm a little tipsy, like, oh, not right now. It just kind of felt like she was trying to ride the wave. This is not the OnlyFans account where you are in the comfort of your own home. No, this is somebody who feels like they bought, paid, and purchased you in some way, shape, or form, and they feel like they should be rewarded for that sexually, and they should be allowed to do as they please with you. Now, we do understand in the episode that just absolutely was not the case, and that she was thrown out. We do not know why. We never got to see the man's face the entire episode, and at first I was like, well, damn, are we going to get to see his face? But I was like, okay, well, that's probably the idea. Like, he can remain anonymous. A lot of these men are. This man could be anybody. What's more important is the scenario and how often it can happen, and you protecting yourself as a person and as a woman. Now, why exactly this man threw her out, we don't really know. She does not really say exactly what happened. I'm really curious to know, because it could have been, something as simple as, okay, fine, you don't want to have sex with me, you need to get your things and get out. Or it could have went beyond that. We just honestly don't know, but I'm hoping that it didn't. That doesn't make the situation any better, but hopefully we get to that maybe, next episode. So now that we've had Mia humble herself and get her ass on that subway, let's get into Shauna and Cliff's storyline. Is anybody surprised at the way that he responded as soon as she arrived? Was he happy to see her? Absolutely, but this is not the Shauna that I know. The Shauna that I know has been changing since the series started. You popping up with new hair, you're wearing lashes, you extra sexual all of a sudden. I mean, God forbid I come to surprise you and ride and choke you at the same time. I mean, it's all too much. It was such just punk ass behavior, in my opinion. The insecurities were coming off of him like they have been coming off of him since day one. I think it's a whole lot more than the music, what you're rapping about. You used to rap about, stuff with substance, what's going on with you and Mia. It's just about her pursuing this rap thing at all and her just going on a different path. from watching the episodes, you can really see that she has been his girlfriend, been really supportive of him. You know, maybe they were more in cohesion while she was in school, but now that it's not that, then it's, you know, it's a little different, not so much. Cliff is thinking about the future, moving further ahead, expecting her to be the Michelle to his Obama. I don't think he really even had any true intentions of her rap career working out. I feel like he thought, you know, if she was unsuccessful for long enough, then she would come back, move here, be, you know, my rock, be my whatever, and then we will move forward from there. That's the Shauna that I know. But this Shauna right here, the one who wants to slow motion for me and record it, the one who's, you know, able to show up and give me head, have money to get herself out here, have money to pay for dates, going to Spotify parties. What is going on here? What is happening with our relationship? It's about me, because the moment it became about her and she is trying to have her own career, he is clearly not secure enough to handle it. You can't even come with me and support me at my first event. It's a Spotify party. These are special moments in my career. Can you take a picture? Can you get this? Can you get, like, oh, he was just so over it and so frustrated, because at that moment, it was mostly about her. Oh, you're changing. You're socializing. You're hugging up on, like, you're trying to snooze and rub elbows with niggas at this party. Yes, I'm trying to get myself out there if it means that I have a potential to get me and Mia shit off the ground. If he cannot support her in that, boo, you should have been there in the first place. Because the way that he feels and how he acted in this episode, best believe he has been holding on to that shit and has been feeling that way for a very long time now. And not to add insult to injury, but we have happy ass Fatima here swinging their hair in our face. Hey girl, how you doing with your little whack ass career? You got that whack ass song played in the club? How's that going? Like, coming through, dropping shade, telling me stuff that I am clearly only telling my boyfriend about what's going on with me. Like, it was not a mutual feeling. I will absolutely not be surprised if he runs with open arms to Fatima. Because this Shauna right here, this Spotify party ass Shauna, I don't know this Shauna. This Shauna who want to choke and ride at the same time, I don't know this Shauna. I know missionary Shauna. Yeah, she ain't coming back. Now, getting into this actual Spotify party, like, we needed something to happen to read the room, because once Mia got there with her poor attitude, like, bitch, I rode the subway to get here. I could not get the bag. He wanted some ass for me to get the bag, and I was not for it. I am assuming. But in the moment, this Spotify takes the light off of Shauna not sharing any information about her potentially moving to New York. And it also takes the sting out of, girl, I just showed up here to see a man gleam, just happy, twerking on the escalator. Then I tell you some shit went down. I have to come to you. I don't have anywhere to go. I don't have anything. And you don't even ask me, oh, bitch, what happened? You okay? Like, that's all I was waiting for from Shauna in this episode. Like, oh, girl, what happened? Are you okay? Not even if you wanted to, because we don't know what happened. If you don't want to discuss what happened, cool. Just let me know that you're okay before we move forward. It's like, no, girl, can you fix my lash? It keeps falling off. Girl, but bitch. Once we get to the Spotify party, though, it is at first a really good time and hopefully exposure. You know, Gio came through. That's who you need to be connected to. That's who you need to go snooze up to, so this record can really get some traction and pick up. This party could do something for us. But at the same time, we have Shauna with a hateration, holleration ass Cliff at this party, and she is trying to tend to him. Like, he just cannot handle anything, and she actually goes off with him for a while. It's like, do you need to get back to me? Oh no, I could stay here with you. Why are we staying here with him? Like, this is the potential opportunity of a lifetime. You never know, you know, what type of connections that you could make. But by the time she gets back upstairs, you know, after Cliff just magically disappears and leaves her ass there, you know, some gentleman that is, we already have a mad, low-key mad ass Mia. You know, she's been up there, she's been drinking, and the worst thing that could possibly happen at this party, you know, where people can see us and give us opportunities, a bitch does, you know, the bump. It's, excuse you? Like, no, bitch, excuse you. You bump me. And Mia being, you know, Mia from Miami, slaps the dog shit out of this girl and knocks her the fuck out for everybody to see. You got people catching it on the, of course, everybody's phone is out. Like, it is just not a good look. And I identified with both sides at that moment. I identified with Shauna. What the hell are you doing? She's instantly apologizing, like, oh, we're so, it's like, no, you're supposed to have my back. Yes, be that as it may, this was not the moment in the time and space to do that. Like, people are watching us. Like, why would you, blow up our spot like that when this is just supposed to be all about opportunity, even though Shauna brought her boyfriend and it instantly became not about the opportunity and tending and babysitting him and pacifying his emotions, but whatever. But I also identified with Mia. I think that it was just more than, the girl bumping her. I think it was a collective of how her entire day went. I tried to get flued out, thought I was gonna get a bag, thought I was gonna hang, and he was just gonna invite me out for my smile. Absolutely not, girl. 9 times out of 10, that shit is not happening. When you gonna bend over? Like, that's what we're waiting on. And it's just like, no, I didn't have any money. I had to ride the subway. People telling me that you have plans in New York. You didn't even, ask me what was wrong. And then you leave me up here on this rooftop of this party for me to socialize and clink glasses by myself when we came up here together and I don't know anybody. And then you don't, have my back in this fight. But I think it was, everything collectively. Like, is this just about, I think she said, you're always about business. It's just always so selfish. And she is very much so business minded and, oh, this is the next big thing. But what about us outside of that? What about us as friends, me as a person? You didn't even bother to ask me if I was okay, which is very important, Shauna. It can't always be about rap shit and it can't always be about Shauna. It needs to be about us together, city girls. We need to be about us as a whole. And at that moment, Mia absolutely was not feeling the unity, popped off, and low-key ruined that whole situation. Now, we end off this episode with the breakup. Are we really surprised? We have a very drunk Cliff with the whole phone, everybody streaming, going live 24/7, and just, throwing out all of his insecurities on Shauna. Oh, you're behaving this way. You trying to talk to this guy. Your hair, you come here. Like, he's just not, we saw it coming. And it's just like, yeah, what you think I've been trying to do for the last 10 minutes of this live? I've been trying to break up with you. No, but you've been wanting to break up with me before that. Like, I don't think this was just all in this moment. He has been feeling this way over time, and this was just a build up to where, oh, I just can't take it. This is how I maybe thought you were acting or maybe turning into, but now to see it in the forefront in my face, I don't know this Shauna. I don't think I want to be with this Shauna. Her Shauna whole little feeling shit. That shit is whack. Ain't nobody, oh, just hate her. He did thought her shit was whack. But they end up breaking up and she winds up at the airport with Mia, with a Cinnabon. Like, yeah, girl, okay. But I was, happy that they supported each other in that moment. And especially Mia, just like, girl, even though I'm upset with you and you brought me this little tired ass Cinnabon, I am going to console you in this moment because I see that you are hurting and what your boyfriend, what you thought he was, he clearly isn't that. And puts aside, her emotions as to whatever happened to her and that white rich man who flew her out in the first place. Hopefully we do get some answers as to what that is, because it's very mysterious. Like, what did happen? I'm hoping that it was just real neutral. But at least we have something to look forward to next episode. This, by far, in my opinion, was the best episode that the show has had to offer. And I'm actually looking forward to the next episode. It only took, 5 episodes. Well, you guys, that was my review for Rap Shit episode 5, Sun for the Weekend. Please drop down and tell me what you thought about my review and what you think about the show moving forward. I really do like what the episode had to say about, flued out culture. And this was the first time that I just didn't feel like it kind of all flowed in cohesion. I didn't get any moments where, okay, here we go with the trendiness and kind of trying to, touch on subject matter a little too hard to appeal to that other audience. I actually identified and enjoyed everything that was going on here in this episode and wanted it to continue, which is always a good thing. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. I see you guys next time. Bye.